Someone very close to you, someone who was supposed to protect you and be your safe haven, has just committed the cruelest act one person can commit against another: silent betrayal. I'm not talking about just any betrayal. I'm talking about something planned in the shadows, something coldly calculated, something that shakes the very foundations of your existence. Saint Michael the Archangel sent me to you at this moment because a truth needs to be revealed, a truth that can no longer wait and has been hidden from you for too long. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange feeling that something is not right, that tightness in your chest that comes out of nowhere, those nights when sleep evades you despite your tiredness. You've tried to explain this uneasiness and sought logical reasons for this discomfort. But the truth is, your spirit already knows what your mind hasn't yet processed. Saint Michael is whispering in your ear, trying to warn you about something happening right under your nose. It involves people you trust blindly. The betrayal being prepared against you is significant and cannot be easily repaired with an apology or a convincing explanation. It will shake you to your core when you find out and make you question everything you believed about the people around you. But Saint Michael wants you to know that you are not alone in this discovery, and that a higher power is watching over you and preparing you to face this revelation with courage and wisdom. The person behind this betrayal is someone you would never suspect, someone with access to your intimate life, secrets, fears, and dreams. They are someone you embrace, someone with whom you share meals and intimate moments of joy and sadness. This person knows your vulnerabilities better than anyone else, and is using that knowledge against you in an almost diabolical way. The plan being carried out against you involves something valuable that represents security and stability in your life. It could be your home, an investment you worked hard for, or something you built with your own hands. Whatever it is, this person is trying to take it from you by dishonest means. False documents and dubious legal maneuvers you never imagined existed. But there's something even more disturbing about this whole story. A third person is involved, someone from your past who you thought had left your life for good. This person was rejected by you or someone close to you long ago and could not accept the rejection. They have held a grudge ever since. This person has returned not by chance but with the specific purpose of revenge, disguised as a business opportunity. Saint Michael shows me that this person has approached the one betraying you with a seemingly advantageous proposal. But it's actually an elaborate trap designed to harm you. This isn't just about money or property. It's about power, control, and the sick satisfaction of seeing you suffer for the consequences of a rejection they could never get over. The connection between the close betrayer and the person from your past was made in secret, far from your view, during meetings you never knew were happening. They communicate through messages that they immediately delete, make calls at times when they know you won't find out about them, and meet in places where they are sure they won't be seen by anyone who could tell you. The level of planning behind this betrayal is staggering. They studied your routine, your absences, and your habits. They know exactly when you're not paying attention, and when you're too busy to notice any suspicious activity around you. They took advantage of moments when you were vulnerable and perhaps dealing with other problems or focused on other areas of your life that demanded your full attention. Saint Michael revealed that they have already begun to execute the plan. Documents have been prepared without your knowledge. Signatures have been forged or obtained through deception, and people have been bribed or persuaded to participate in this fraud. This process has been underway for longer than you realize. If it weren't for heavenly intervention, you would only find out when it was too late to reverse the damage. The person close to you who is betraying you has created a narrative to justify their actions. They convince themselves that they are doing this for the greater good, that you will somehow benefit from this situation in the future, or that you won't miss what's being taken from you. It's astonishing how the human mind can distort reality to justify cruel acts when personal gain is involved. However, Saint Michael wants you to know that this person is not acting alone with the figure from the past. There is a small but efficient network of people who have been recruited to participate in this plot. Some know exactly what they are doing. Others have been deceived and believe they are participating in something legitimate. Among them are a corrupt lawyer, an accountant who has turned a blind eye to irregularities, and a broker who is facilitating dubious transactions. The most painful part of all this is that you trusted this person completely. You shared your financial fears, concerns about security, and plans for the future with them. They used all that information to plan the perfect betrayal, knowing exactly where to strike to cause the most damage with the least resistance from you. If this message touches your heart in any way, and you feel it could help others going through similar situations, click "Thank you." Your support helps us continue to share these important revelations with those who need them most. The person from your past who has returned has come not only with a thirst for revenge, but also with an unhealthy obsession with you or your life. They have been watching you from a distance, following your achievements, growth, and victories. Each of your successes fueled their anger and envy. When the opportunity arose through someone close to you who betrayed you, they saw it as a golden chance to finally bring you down. St. Michael shows me that this person has researched your current life extensively. They know details about your routine that not even your loved ones know. They know your schedule, your commitments, and when you are away from home. This information was crucial in planning the betrayal because it allowed them to know exactly when to act without being discovered. However, there is something even more disturbing that St. Michael wants to reveal. Before resorting to this more drastic plan, this person from your past tried to get close to you again. They made subtle attempts at reconciliation that you may have interpreted as coincidences or chance encounters. Perhaps an innocent-looking message on social media, a chance encounter somewhere you frequent, or questions about you asked of mutual acquaintances. When these attempts failed, and it became clear that you had no interest in resuming any kind of relationship, she decided to seek revenge. The person close to you who is betraying you became the perfect instrument for this revenge, because they had access to everything the person from the past needed to hurt you the most. The betrayal is designed to catch you completely off guard. They planned for you to find out after it was impossible to reverse the process. After all the documents were signed, all the money changed hands, and all the legal transfers were completed. The cynical part is that the person close to you who betrayed you has probably already prepared an explanation for when you find out. They will minimize their actions, claiming they had no choice, were pressured, or thought you wouldn't care that much. They will try to position themselves as victims of circumstances rather than accept responsibility for their choices. St. Michael wants you to understand that this situation is about more than just material betrayal. It's about a spiritual war being waged around you. The forces of darkness have identified a light in you that bothers them, a potential that needs to be neutralized, and a force that threatens the dark plans they have for your life and the lives of those around you. The person close to you who is betraying you did not make this decision alone. Negative spiritual forces influenced them, whispering in their ear, feeding their greed, and awakening feelings of envy and resentment they may not have known existed within them. It's as if a shadow has taken hold of their thoughts, gradually corrupting their heart. However, St. Michael revealed something else to you. You have been chosen to break a generational pattern of betrayal and disappointment in your family. A curse has been passed down through the generations, causing those closest to you to betray each other over material things. You are the person designated by heaven to break this vicious cycle. That is why the spiritual resistance against you is so intense. The forces of darkness know that if you overcome this betrayal with wisdom and forgiveness, and manage to break this pattern without becoming bitter or vengeful, you will free not only yourself, but also future generations of your family from this destructive karma. The person from the past who has returned carries a vampiric energy that drains the vitality of those around them. They don't just want revenge, they feed on the suffering of others. Their approach to the person betraying you was strategic and a way to corrupt their energy and use them to hurt you. St. Michael shows me that this person has done this before with others. They approach people who have been rejected or hurt, exploit their vulnerability, and use it to carry out revenge and manipulation. It's as if they collect people to use as instruments in their personal vendettas. Their plan has multiple layers of cruelty. They don't just take something material from you. They shake your trust in people, make you question your judgment, and plant seeds of paranoia and mistrust that can follow you for the rest of your life. They want you to become closed off and distrustful, incapable of forming true bonds. However, St. Michael wants you to know that an unexpected twist is coming. Someone discovered part of the plan by accident and is struggling with whether to tell you. This person wasn't involved in the betrayal, but overheard a conversation or saw a document they shouldn't have. They are fighting against the fear of getting involved, the pressure to keep family secrets, and the uncertainty of whether you will believe them. However, Saint Michael is working on this person's heart, strengthening their courage and showing them that remaining silent would be complicity with evil. The revelation is closer than you think. It could be an unexpected phone call, a timely message, or a document that appears when you least expect it. When this revelation happens, though, you need to be prepared to not react with blind anger or a desire for revenge. Saint Michael emphasizes that your reaction to discovering this betrayal will determine the practical outcome of the situation and your spiritual growth and evolution as a human being. If you react wisely, firmly, yet without hatred, and separate the person from the action, understanding that they have been corrupted by forces greater than themselves, you will emerge from this situation stronger and wiser. The person close to you who is betraying you has moments of remorse. They have moments when they almost give up on the plan, and moments when they feel remorse for what they are doing. However, each time this occurs, someone from the past reinforces the justifications, recalls the benefits, and intensifies the psychological pressure to continue with the plan. It's important to understand that this betrayal doesn't reflect your value as a person or your ability to inspire loyalty. It is simply the result of two people who have chosen the path of darkness and preferred immediate material gain over spiritual integrity. You have done nothing to deserve this, and there is nothing you could have done to prevent it. Saint Michael now wants to reveal the specific details of how this betrayal is being carried out. They have chosen a time when you are busy with other issues in your life, perhaps professional, family, or health issues, that demand your attention. They know that when we are overwhelmed, our ability to perceive subtle signs of danger diminishes. The execution of the plan involves several carefully timed steps. First, documents were prepared in offices you have never visited and with lawyers you have never met. This was done using personal information about you that was provided by someone close to you who is betraying you. Your signature was forged or obtained through deception, perhaps when you signed legitimate documents mixed in with fraudulent ones. The person from your past who has returned is financing part of the process and providing motivation for the betrayal. They paid for corrupt legal services and compensated people who needed to be bribed. They even offered a significant sum to the person close to you who is betraying you to ensure the plan's success. However, Saint Michael revealed something shocking. As part of this betrayal, they planned to steal or destroy a personal item of yours that has sentimental value and carries positive spiritual energy. This is not just about material value. It's about severing your connection to sacred memories, important moments in your life, and people you have loved. This object could be a family heirloom, an important document, an old photograph, or something blessed or gifted by someone special. They identified that the object has emotional significance to you and decided that removing it from your life would cause you additional pain. If you feel this message touches something deep in your heart, consider supporting this channel by clicking "Thank you very much." Your support helps us continue to share these important revelations with more people who need to be alerted to similar situations. The person close to you who is betraying you has access to your home and personal belongings, including important documents. They took advantage of your absence to photograph documents, make copies of keys, and map out where you keep important things. This invasion of your privacy is almost as violent as the financial betrayal itself. Saint Michael shows me that they have even installed monitoring devices in your home. These devices could be an app on your phone, a hidden camera, or a listening device. They want to ensure that you won't discover their plan until it's too late to stop them. The level of paranoia and control they exercise is staggering. They monitor your social media, conversations, and movements. They know who you talk to, where you go, and what time you leave and return. This constant surveillance is part of their strategy to ensure the betrayal is carried out without obstacles. However, there is a breach in their surveillance that they did not expect. Saint Michael has sent celestial interference that is causing their monitoring devices to malfunction. Cameras stop working, apps fail, and listening devices produce only noise. Spiritual protection is interfering with the technology they use against you. The person from your past who has returned is obsessed with you in a way that goes beyond simple revenge. She keeps photos of you, collects information about your life, and talks about you with an intensity that reveals a serious mental imbalance. This obsession has turned what could have been a simple grudge into something much more dangerous. Saint Michael wants you to understand that this person is a danger not only to you, but also to those around you. They can manipulate anyone with emotional vulnerabilities. The person close to you who is betraying you is just the latest victim of this manipulation. Their plan includes a phase of public humiliation. They want your situation to become known, but in a way that makes you look naive, careless, or incompetent. They want you to feel ashamed, both for the material loss and for how it happened. This betrayal will be revealed in a way that they did not plan. Instead of finding out too late, you will find out at the exact moment when you can still reverse the situation. This is not a coincidence, but divine intervention orchestrated by Saint Michael to protect you and thwart the plans of your enemies. Saint Michael wants to reveal how you should prepare to face this discovery when it happens. First, understand that anger is a natural response, but it cannot be your only response. While anger can give you the energy to act, it cannot give you the wisdom to act correctly. You must channel this energy into constructive action rather than destructive action. When the revelation occurs, you will experience shock, betrayal, pain, and confusion. You will question why you did not see the signs, feel guilty for trusting, and want to immediately confront those involved. However, Saint Michael advises you to stop, breathe, and seek spiritual guidance before taking any drastic action. The person close to you who is betraying you will try to manipulate your reaction when you find out. They will use emotional tactics, arouse your compassion, and invent excuses for their actions. They may even pretend to be a victim of the situation, claiming that they have also been deceived. You need to prepare yourself to not be manipulated by these tactics. Saint Michael reveals that there is evidence of the betrayal you have yet to discover, but which is about to come to light. This evidence could be text messages, emails, documents, or phone records. This evidence will appear exactly when you need it to prove what is happening. The person from your past who has returned underestimated your spiritual strength. They believed you would easily crumble under this betrayal, become bitter and vengeful, and lose your faith in humanity. However, Saint Michael wants you to know that you are stronger than they imagine, and that your inner light is more powerful than any darkness they can project. A support network is forming around you that you have not yet fully realized. Saint Michael is mobilizing these people to help you when you need it. They may be old friends reappearing in your life, professionals taking an interest in your case, or strangers moved to help you. A lawyer is already being prepared by heaven to help you resolve this legal situation. He will enter your life in a way that seems coincidental, but it is actually divine synchronicity. This lawyer will have the technical competence and moral integrity necessary to fight for you with passion and dedication. Saint Michael wants you to know that, as painful as this betrayal may be, it is actually an opportunity for purification in your life. It will remove toxic people from your life, show you who deserves your trust, and teach you to trust your spiritual intuition more than people's outward appearances. The person close to you who is betraying you has other secrets that will be revealed during this process as well. This is not the first time they have acted dishonestly. It's just the first time they've been caught. They have hurt other people in the past and chosen personal gain over honesty in other situations. When you confront this person, Saint Michael advises that you speak firmly but without hatred. Tell the truth, expose the facts, and demand redress. However, do not allow bitterness to poison your heart. Remember that you are breaking a generational pattern, which requires acting with wisdom beyond your natural emotional reaction. The person from the past who has returned will try to distance themselves when they realize the plan isn't working as expected. They will try to hide and deny their involvement. They will blame the person close to you who is betraying you. However, Saint Michael has already arranged for all evidence of their involvement to be preserved. Divine compensation is coming your way that will outweigh everything you lost in this betrayal. This compensation is not just material restitution, it is spiritual elevation. opening of paths, and expansion of opportunities you never imagined existed. Saint Michael is orchestrating a turnaround in your life that will leave you better off than before. The revelation of this betrayal will coincide with the beginning of a new phase in your life. It's as if the universe needs to clear the ground and remove negative influences so you can receive the blessings reserved for you. This pain is the price of your liberation, evolution, and spiritual elevation. Saint Michael now wants to reveal what will happen to those who participated in the betrayal. The person close to you who betrayed you will face consequences beyond material reparation. They will experience a period of social isolation as others discover their dishonest nature and distance themselves. The reputation they have built over the years will quickly be destroyed. Divine justice operates differently from human justice. While earthly courts may take time to resolve material issues, heavenly justice has already begun to take effect in the lives of these individuals. They will encounter inexplicable obstacles, miss opportunities, and experience the deterioration of relationships for no apparent reason. It will seem as if the universe itself is conspiring against them. The person from the past who has returned will find that their obsession with you has become their own prison. They will be trapped in a cycle of anger and frustration that consumes their vital energy. Every plan they make against you will backfire. This is the law of return operating relentlessly. Saint Michael wants you to understand that forgiveness does not mean accepting the unacceptable or allowing people to escape the consequences of their actions. Forgiveness means releasing the poison of bitterness from your heart. It means not allowing the evil of others to corrupt your soul. You can forgive and still demand justice. If you feel that this message is bringing clarity to your life, consider supporting this channel by clicking "Thank you." Your support helps us reveal these important truths to more people in need of awareness about similar situations. There is a young person in your life, perhaps a child, nephew, or younger cousin, who is indirectly affected by this betrayal. Saint Michael wants you to pay special attention to this person because they may be suffering from the tension this situation is creating. Without fully understanding what is happening, the revelation of this betrayal will happen in stages. First, you will discover only part of the truth, enough to confirm your suspicions. Then, gradually, more details will emerge, more evidence will come to light, and more people will speak up. It's as if Saint Michael is dosing out the revelations so you can process everything without becoming overwhelmed. During this process, you will receive help from an unexpected source. This person may be someone you know only superficially, or even a stranger who is moved to help you. This person will have the crucial information or resources you need to resolve the situation. Saint Michael reveals that there is a spiritual aspect to this betrayal that goes beyond what is visible. The person close to you who betrayed you is not just stealing something material. They are trying to steal your peace, trust, and joy of living. However, they don't know that these things can't be stolen from someone with a true connection to the divine. The person from your past who has returned has a destructive history. They have ruined relationships, hurt people, and caused unnecessary pain. You are not their first victim, but Saint Michael guarantees you will be their last. Your story will break the cycle of destruction they represent. Once everything is resolved, you will realize that this betrayal was a blessing in disguise. It freed you from toxic people, taught you to trust your intuition, and showed you who deserves to be in your life. You will emerge from this situation wiser, stronger, and more discerning in choosing your friends. Professional or financial opportunity is coming into your life that will compensate you for any loss you suffered from this betrayal. Saint Michael is preparing the ground for this opportunity by removing obstacles and aligning circumstances, so you'll be in the right place at the right time. The person who betrayed you will try to reconcile with you once everything is revealed. They will use emotional tactics, arouse your compassion, and promise never to do anything like this again. However, Saint Michael advises extreme caution. While some people can change, others just become more skilled at hiding their true nature. The healing process from this betrayal will be faster than you think. This is not because the pain will be small, but because Saint Michael will speed up your emotional recovery process. You will find strengths you didn't know you had, discover inner resources that were dormant before, and develop a wisdom that only comes with experience. St. Michael wants to end this revelation with a message of hope and empowerment. You were chosen for this trial, not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to overcome it with wisdom and grace. You were tested, not to be broken, but to be strengthened. You were challenged not to be defeated, but to rise to a higher level of consciousness and spiritual power. The betrayal you are facing is actually a rite of passage. Your soul is being prepared to receive greater responsibilities, blessings, and purpose. Those who have not been tested by adversity can never develop the depth of character necessary to lead, inspire, or serve as an example of overcoming. St. Michael wants you to know that a special mission is reserved for you, a unique way of serving the world that only you can fulfill. To be prepared for this mission, however, you needed to undergo this purification. You needed to learn to discern good from evil and develop the courage to face darkness without being corrupted by it. The person who betrayed you will serve as an example to others of the consequences of dishonesty. Your story will serve as a warning and a testament that betrayal never pays, and that integrity is always more valuable than temporary material gain. There are children in your life, perhaps your own children, nieces, or nephews, who look up to you and are watching how you deal with this situation. Your response will teach them how to face adversity with dignity. You are being called to set an example of how light can overcome darkness. The compensation you will receive for this betrayal will surprise you. This is not just a matter of justice. It is a matter of divine love, demonstrating that those who trust in goodness are never abandoned. You will get back not only what was stolen from you, but also more than you could have imagined. St. Michael wants you to know that this message came to you by divine necessity, not by chance. There are thousands of people who need to be warned about similar situations and prepared to face betrayal. They need encouragement to trust in heavenly justice. You are part of an activated network of light that will transform the world. The person from your past who has returned will discover that their obsession with you has become their own curse. They will be trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts, frustrated plans, and wasted energy. While you grow, evolve, and receive blessings, they waste away in the bitterness they have chosen to cultivate. By overcoming this betrayal and showing that it's possible to forgive without being naive, be strong without being bitter, and seek justice without seeking revenge, you'll become a source of inspiration for others. Your story will give courage to others going through similar situations. St. Michael wants you to know that he will be with you throughout this process. In moments of pain, he will be your comforter. In moments of doubt, he will be your guide. In moments of decision, he will be your advisor. You are not alone on this journey. The revelation of this betrayal marks the beginning of a new era in your life. You have been living a limited version of yourself, constrained by toxic relationships and situations that drained your energy and people who did not recognize your true value. Now, you are being set free to become who you really are. A community of authentic, honest, and loving people is forming around you. St. Michael is bringing people into your life who share your values and respect your integrity. They will support you on your journey of growth. You will discover that there are far more good people in the world than bad. Your legacy will not be defined by the betrayal you suffered, but by how you responded to it. Rather, it will be defined by the wisdom you have developed, the compassion you have maintained, and the strength you have shown. You will be remembered not as a victim, but as a winner. If this message has touched your heart and you recognize the truth about your situation, then you have felt the presence of St. Michael speaking directly to your soul. Your life is about to change in an extraordinary way. You are entering a phase of revelations, justice, restoration, and multiplied blessings. If you have come this far and this message has resonated with you, I invite you to join our community of light. Subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, and tell us in the comments which part of the message touched you the most. Tell your story, share your experiences, and inspire others with your testimony. Together, we are stronger. Together, we can transform pain into wisdom, betrayal into growth, and darkness into light. May St. Michael bless your journey with protection, wisdom, and unconditional love.